Hello, I'm David Arnold, and I'm a composer, and I have co-written and co-produced with Lana Del Rey the title song for the IOI game 007 First Light.
I'm Dominic Vega from IO Interactive. I'm the audio and missions director on 007 First Light.
I think the first principle we had was going back to Fleming, going back to the books and seeing if there are any clues in that in terms of like early Bond and what it was. And there's a great line from one of the short stories, which was, every light casts a shadow. The kind of direction of it felt like this is a person who runs towards the light without knowing exactly what's on the other side of it. But I think this is about someone who is compelled to move towards something dangerous. But because he's so young, we don't know if he's going to be able to handle that danger. So that was the kind of conversation that I was having with Lana about it when we started talking about the theme of the song.
One thing we were talking about when we first met was this opportunity to say, like, this is a moment for James Bond to, and for the player to earn a theme, to kind of start to add to that library. He's young, he's unseasoned, but along the way, I think the music actually kind of plays to his heart. It plays to the complexity of the character, the complexity of the situations that he's in. But when you're trying to balance the needs of what does James Bond need, what does James Bond need in a game, and what does a game need to successfully communicate to the player, we had to strike a balance of being loud, being forward with music.
If you think of songs like Nobody Does It Better, or You Only Live Twice, or Live and Let Die, they're all completely different to each other. And yet somehow, at the heart of them, they become Bond songs. I think it's more the core of the actual writing, not just the sound. I think the sound is as important. I think the music has to get to the core of the character somehow. And the great thing about James Bond Will Return is that you get a chance to redefine it again and again and again. And people still keep coming back to find out what happens next. I think the music for this, the song especially, sort of takes a sort of look upon him from above in a way that sometimes knows what's going to happen to him. And the fact that we question, are you going to engage with this? Are you going to play this game, which is what your life is going to be, is kind of like a commentary on it, as well as being at the core of it. It took me a while to get to that conclusion, and I'm not going to pretend that I knew that at our first meeting, but that's the whole point of having discussions about these things. Yeah. It's like getting to the heart of what it is.
From a sound and audiophile perspective, there's nothing like it. And bringing in all the best players in the world, it was something we had to do. The soundtrack is going to be with the player for hours and hours and hours as they play this campaign, and we wanted to do that justice. We also wanted to do justice to the song that's playing at the head of this, right? So there's little moments and little callbacks and references and things that, frankly, just come across the screen a lot better when you've got these amazing players in this amazing space.
Started off, the first thing we did, we had like a 4-hour conversation. We were talking about, like, this is what the game feels like, this is what the character, I think, feels like. These are the little things that I've thought of in terms of lyrical ideas, but I mean, I really wanted to leave that to her because she just comes up with such amazing sort of lyrical ideas, and also she's got to sing it, and I think it's really important that the person who's delivering the vocal truly believe everything that she's doing. And she was so interested in it and so engaged with it that she really, I think, dug deep on this one, and I think really wanted to do it, and I think that's a huge plus. For me, on a personal level, you know, to be able to still be a part of that world is incredibly exciting. But to have another opportunity of doing a song and sort of like defining something, because that's what I always love about songwriting, and especially like title sequences, whether it's for a movie or for a TV show or a song, which if you hear it, you think like, that's what it's all about. For me, that's the clue. That's the thing that unlocks everything. And if we can get the song right, then everything else can be right as well. So the opportunity for doing that again was amazing. And I remember the first time I sat down at the piano and I was thinking, like, it's been a while since I've actually written a Bond song for a Bond project, an actual song. And I think I wondered if I could still do it. And then it was like those first two chords up and I go like, oh, there it is. Sometimes it comes, and sometimes you have to really dig it out, you know. So it took a bit of digging out afterwards, but just that ba-dee-dum, ba-da-da, that was like, okay, I am led now. I'm led into the next part of it. And once you start that, you just have to follow where it leads you. And with a song, I find that a lot of the time things get thrown away. You know, it's like, because you finish it, you get to the point and you take a step back and you listen to it and you go like, it might be good, but it's not right. But you have to disassociate yourself from it at the point when you've written it and be really super critical and say, is this right? But sometimes removing possibilities means that you get closer to the truth and the answer. So it can be brutal at times, but hopefully when you get to the end of it, it's the only thing that it could be.